they often get stuck at fundraising stage.
Hmm.
And my thinking was that I couldn't say to them that you don't need a VC, you should just launch a token and allow the community to buy a token and
Mm.
fund yourself in that way.
Bitcoin, crypto,
Ethereum, crypto assets.
NFT.
Welcome to Not Another Crypto Show.
Tell me all about your incredible company. I'm very excited to learn more.
Good morning, everyone. Hi, Jason. Thanks for inviting me.
Pleasure to have you.
First, I actually think about how this idea came to me. I have been a banker. I used to do sales in banking and never used to sit in the office. We also did went and go out and do door to door
Wow.
because before 5 years I was in India, and in India you don't find bankers sitting in the office. You go out there, talk with people, or are you happy with your banking needs, or what else do you need? It's a cutthroat competition.
So, just for those listening, because there's various ideas of banking throughout the world. Here we have what's called high street banking, which is dealing with the every single day person on the street about where they keep their money, where they keep their investments, and then of course we've got sort of high level banking, which would be investment banking or private equity or hedge funds, VC. You're talking about commercial banking or what we would call high street banking. Is that correct?
Yes, that's retail banking.
Retail banking. Thank you. That's the exact word I was looking for. So in India, retail banking is something you do almost like close to hand combat. You're out there talking to people, telling them to come to your bank to set up a bank account. That's amazing. I didn't know that. Please tell me more.
Like in India, we had so many banks that on every street and corner you will find a bank or an ATM.
Wow.
And the competition is such that we don't even compete with the other banks. We are competing with the guy sitting next to us. So just imagine a customer entering the branch and he sits in front of you.
Mm,
And the person sitting next to you, he might be a senior.
mm.
So if he stays in the bank for more than 5 minutes, your senior can ask them to talk with them and you will lose the customer.
Wow.
So what I used to do is immediately take them to the meeting room or take their address and give them my business card and tell them your bank account would be opened at your house and close the deal immediately.
Amazing. Okay, that's incredible. Please continue.
And that's how I was so hardcore into sales that I went out and distributed my business cards on a Sunday.
Love it.
Normally, normally when we go and meet people, so the woman in the house tell me the man is in the office. So I think now how can I meet this person? I can't go to their offices because they are not all in the same place.
Hmm.
So I decided to go meet them on a Sunday. And I remember once on a Sunday, we had a partnership with a housing society. And I met an old guy. He's sitting watching TV, relaxing on a Sunday.
Right.
And from my right corner, I see his son coming from outside. He's wearing a blazer, a black blazer, like you can imagine a lawyer.
Hmm.
So I give my card to his father, and he takes my card. He looks at it like this. He smiles and then put in his pocket. So I could imagine that the smile was like he was happy that someone like him is also working on a Sunday, because he described his father that he is coming from a village, from a case, because back in our area, we don't have court in villages, and from the lawyer from the city have to go there in the weekend and solve their issues.
Gotcha. Wow.
And after like 2 3 months, I got his call. I'm sitting having dinner with my mother, we are watching TV. So in the bank, like we pick up everybody's call. We don't know whom we have given our business card.
Of course.
So we book an appointment for the next day, and you will not believe like what he showed me. He puts a map on the table and he told me that this village belongs to our family trust,
Okay.
and we are in a government bank now, and we want to go to digital banking. We want to open a new account in your bank. And the secret of the trust is that they don't pay tax.
Gotcha.
And I have a habit that if I know how to do something or I don't know, I will say yes. And then I will figure it out how to do it.
I like that. That's really good.
I met the trust guy in my bank and I told him, we are not going to tell anyone until we open this account. We opened the account and he deposited 100 million.
Oh my God. I hope there's a big commission that you get for bringing this deal to your bank.
So that's the twist in the story. I didn't got anything.
Oh,
And what my seniors told to their senior, like the regional manager, the whole manager of the region, they visited that client with me and they were so happy. And you know how corporate politics works.
mm-hmm.
Like, see how we look how we trained him and he's doing well now. And they
Mm.
take the credit.
Oh my gosh. That's terrible.
And I was more intelligent than them. What I
Yes.
used to do, I used to meet the foreign clients. Sometimes they tell me we want to sell a flat, Shailesh. And I'm a banker. I will tell them, okay, we will sell your flat. And I don't know anything about real estate. But like my habit, say yes and then figure it out.
Yeah.
So I went and met all my clients who are very rich people in the city.
Mm-hmm.
And I need just one yes. So one of them, he told me like, let's see his flat. If it's a good deal, then we will take it. And my client, he was like me and my mother and he, we are following the same spiritual guru. So I saw this photo in his room
Mm-hmm.
and I told him that we follow this person as well. And he immediately connected with me and he told me his problems. Then he was like started crying. Like, Shailesh, I have a heart problem. I'm coming from South Africa
Mm-hmm.
and my daughter is there. She's married, and after selling this flat, we'll never come back.
Wow.
So I told him, don't worry, we'll sell your flat. He said, I have done advertisement in newspaper. People call me, they visit the flat, then we don't get any reply. I said, don't worry, we'll do it. And one guy told me, yes, he visited the flat and he's like, all our properties in our family are
Mm-hmm.
registered on the woman in the family. So let my wife visit the flat, and if she says yes, we'll buy it.
Smart.
And he was such a gentleman that he has his own broker with him, and he knew I am still an amateur. I'm not an expert.
Yeah.
So he taught me everything that we take these papers from this office, and this is how we do the registration and the stamping and legal everything.
Mm.
And her wife told yes, and he bought the property,
Excellent.
and it was like 6 months of my salary.
Wow. In one day, in one sale, like that.
Like I took the risk to say yes, and then I made two business cards. One is my bank, which gave me. The other one is all the financial services that a person wants.
Yeah.
So suppose one person comes to my bank and he wants X,
Yeah.
and that is not better in my bank, but it's better in the other bank. So instead of sending him to that bank, I will tell him, okay, uh, we'll get you this service through that bank, and he will go through me and will not go there directly. So like if you come to the city, you come to the king and you will not go empty handed. I made the service like that.
I love that.
So that's how the idea of Fundia came to me, like helping people. And after coming to Berlin in 2017 for my studies, I was doing student job as my master's.
Hmm.
After graduation, I helped the founder. So it was the time of COVID in 2021.
Hmm.
So all of us, we are inside our house. And if you go to supermarkets, all the stuff that we want, it's not there. So
Okay.
one person started this 10-minute food delivery. And another need was you are sitting inside a room and you want to talk with someone. So people in US, they started Clubhouse.
Hmm.
And we launched a competitor of Clubhouse called Deep Dive. And the founder of Deep Dive, I knew him because I was doing a student job at his previous company called e-scooter Circ.
Yes, I've
It's a
heard about
very
that.
so they sold this company to US, and I graduated and I knew they are onto something next. Told me we are looking for investors. And again, the same thing happened to me. I didn't know much about venture capital,
Hmm.
but a woman wrote to me on LinkedIn that we are training people to become a VC in Venture University. So immediately the dots connected in my mind that this guy is looking for VC and she is writing me. So why not connect them?
Mm.
And I started doing that. I kept doing some introductions with him, and we came to face the harsh reality that no venture capital is interested in investing a social audio or a social media from Europe.
Mm.
The idea should come from US
Hmm.
to gain popularity. I took the challenge that it's not impossible. There must be someone. So I used to work like 12 hours a day and send hundreds and thousands of messages on LinkedIn. I have made like hundreds of introductions with the founder.
Wow.
And like I saw that God also helps you if you keep on doing, if you want something.
Hmm.
There is always a way if you don't give up. I used to watch a video at the end of the day of these people on called CNBC Make It,
Hmm.
how they went on to become a successful entrepreneur. I came upon a guy who started a gaming peripheral company. His name was Minliang Tan Razer, and they showed that he bought a audio hardware company called THX, similar to Dolby Digital, what we listen in the theater.
Hmm.
So I thought this guy is moving from gaming to audio hardware, and we are audio software. So
Mm.
it might be his strategic move. Why not write him? I shoot him a cold message on LinkedIn, and he is a billionaire.
Oh.
So normally they have a permanent assistant to deal with such things.
Hmm.
And I never imagined he would write me, but he replied to me. And he went on to become our main investor.
Wow.
This thing came to me that founders often get stuck at fundraising stage. They
Mm.
can't go to the next level. So instead of me reaching out to them and sending these hundreds of messages, why not give them direct contact details?
Mm.
That's the idea of Fundia. What I have learned through my journey. I want to give it back to them.
I love that. I absolutely. What is the connection with Fundia and Tsunami that you also have that you're also attached to?
It's Tsunami is a venture capital startup launchpad. I worked there for 6 months
Hmm.
and I left that job and now I am doing my own.
Gotcha. So the learnings you took from Tsunami, you've brought into your new company that you're doing with yourself. Who is your perfect client? Who are you hoping to connect with that you can help the best? And of course, they can learn the most from you.
Like while working at Tsunami, I did some interviews with DeFi founders,
Mm-hmm,
and they talked to me about their protocol and how they often get stuck at fundraising stage.
mm-hmm,
And my thinking was that I couldn't say to them that you don't need a VC, you should just launch a token and allow the community to buy a token and fund yourself in that way.
mm-hmm,
Instead, I want to give them the contact information. Doesn't matter, you will get the funding, just use our list.
mm-hmm. So Fundia is building a crypto fundraising data and intelligence platform, right? That's the big thinking of the idea. And like you said, the the problem is that most people don't have a database for Web3 projects. There's all kinds of data out there that doesn't even work anymore or is obsolete on things like Crunchbase and other platforms. Um, I mean, I haven't even updated my profile on Crunchbase, so that's very true. Pitch deck is or pitch books are very expensive. CB Insights only give you half the information. Some databases exist, but they don't maintain them to make sure they're up and relevant for what you're looking to do, like Dove Metrics, Block Data, CoinCap, etc. And your problem exists because Web3 is very new and people need to adapt to it. And the timing that you've done it with is absolutely brilliant because people are understanding that decentralized is the answer to most problems, especially banking, interestingly enough, and that most people deserve a better and more affordable platform. Would you say that's correct?
You're absolutely to the point.
Oh, fantastic. Brilliant.
Like I was preparing this fundraising database at Tsunami,
Got you.
and we used to get extract the emails from Crunchbase. And I
Love that.
found that it's not updated.
Mm,
So you need to extract it email from LinkedIn and use the email tools. And PitchBook was 25,000 for 3 users. So
jeez.
I thought it's not for a startup founder.
Mm-mm,
It is for a VC or a private equity
mm,
who would or institution clients.
mm,
So there is a big gap for a startup founder and have them very affordable or a reasonable solution for them, which is easier for them.
mm,
Once we help one founder and we put their testimonial or fundia that they have successfully raised through our platform,
mhm,
our thinking is to put a comparison platform, like get check the best credit cards in the market, crypto credit cards.
mm,
There is no interest rate in the bank. Check the best interest rates on Crunchbase, on Coinbase, Binance, Blockify, or any other platform. Check
mm,
the best lending rates. Check the NFT platforms
mhm,
and give them a credit rating down the line in the long term. What we found through our research is that people are fed up of FICO ratings in crypto.
mm.
There has to be some more authenticated resource and reach out to the retail investors because there is still some fear or lack of awareness in a common man.
Mm, very true. Now, part of your go-to-market strategy for this product, which by the way is very clever, very needed, obvious problem, is that you've got salespeople like you that can do the calls, that aren't scared to do the work, to, as you said, to always say yes and then go and learn how to do it. And from that, if memory serves, I think you said in your pitch deck you've got like a 15% conversion rate. But then you also mentioned
Yeah.
that you've got an inbound acquisition where you've got something like 100,000 monthly visits. How are you doing? And that's got obviously a less conversion rate because people go to a site and they get lost on the site. How are you getting that many people to come look at your site?
Like it is an estimate, but what we are thinking is that once we launch the site,
Mm-hmm,
we haven't launched yet. We'll do our registration in 1 month. So what we are thinking is the commission-based sales agent will send out the emails,
Hmm.
and apart from that, we want to organize events like meetups and reach out to them and reduce their fear. Like this is how it will help them achieve their goals. Maybe it is to buy a house or buy that bike or a car or go to that vacation. So the funds lying in the bank is using your funds. So why not put it at a good use?
Mm,
And how we want to convince them is we want to partner with an insurance company that protect their funds which are invested through our portal,
mm.
and the uh, premium that they pay will get the revenue from there.
I love that. Your team, what's the team structure at the moment? Have you partnered with anyone? Have you got a co-founder on this idea? What's your thinking?
uh, I have finalized a CTO,
Hmm.
and I have a person, his name is Ajay Chaudhary. Like he has been in business in Berlin since last 30 years.
Wow.
So he works as like a mentor to me, who has helped me through my journey. And he's not tech savvy, he's into like import export business. So he
Hmm.
will look after the admin and other legal stuff in from Germany, which he's more aware of than me. And I look on the operations.
Brilliant. And what's the ask? What are you looking to get? What are you hoping for? What's your next stage?
Like we don't have much expenses. Like step one is to just extract the data from the net of the fundraising. So we are just looking for 50,000 at the moment, which will mainly go into product development and hiring new people and other admin and office stuff.
Gotcha. And what do you think you could do with 50K if you could get 50K?
Uh, just help
What
one founder.
so
Once we put his testimonial, we want to start building the comparison portal. So from comparison portal, we'll get the lead generation revenue.
gotcha. That's smart. Okay. I absolutely love that. I think, listen, firstly, you've got an incredible story. There's no question about that. Like, how many people go knocking on doors on a Sunday? How many people are on scared to cold call as you've done, to send out LinkedIn messages like you do? But that's one thing. But to go out and knock on doors, to face people, to hand your business card, to get no after no after no, to hope for a yes, let alone a yes that leads to 100 million, is absolutely incredible. Then, of course, the ability to go into real estate and learn about that, and then private investment banking, and the amount of research you've done is phenomenal. Like, allow me, with over 20,000 people that listen to this podcast, to just say congratulations. You've done an incredible job, and you've obviously spotted a very clear and present problem that needs to be solved. And I like your idea of how you will find one founder, solve their founder, use their case study to then go out and get more founders. Is that right? I just want to double check my understanding.
Absolutely right.
Perfect. And I like as well that you're not looking for a massive number. You're looking for a very small number, which will allow you to do that. I think it's really, really interesting. We're gonna end the show here for all your listeners, and then I'm gonna go off and ask a couple of questions offline. But if you'd like to find out more about this project, about our incredible guest, where do they go and find out more about you? And forgive me if I'm mispronouncing your name, Shailesh.
Right. Shailesh Ubhrani on LinkedIn and Twitter as well.
Perfect. So on
And
Twitter,
we
you're also at Shailesh, same thing or different handle?
on Twitter I have a name like I'm King Shailesh.
I am King Shailesh. I like that. And of course, on LinkedIn, here's Shailesh Ubhrani. If you go to our show notes for this episode, you will find all his details. So you don't have to worry about spelling, or I can't remember what he said. I'll put it in the show notes. So you can click straight from the show notes, take you straight to his LinkedIn and straight to his Twitter. Great project. Again, what do we learn from today's show? We learned that if you don't know, just say yes and work it out. We learned that if you just work at it, it will solve most of your problems. We learned that half the time doing it yourself is better than doing it for someone else. We've learned that with his bank operations and how other people took all the credits when he did all the hard work. And the ability to learn is probably our greatest asset. If you learn nothing else from this episode, I hope you'll take away those simple 3 things. And of course, find out about Fundia, an incredible idea, especially in our space of Web3 and the metaverse and everything that we're doing with crypto. Thank you for listening to Not Another Crypto Show. Thank you, Jeff, for putting this one together. And if you have enjoyed this, make sure to give us a 5-star on the old subscriber list. Click that button and leave a comment. Any comment about what you've learned from today. And I feel like you should have learned a lot because I know I have. Thank you very much.
Making a high-quality podcast like this one takes a lot of work. That's a fact. But not when you hire a podcast company. With our white glove experience, we handle everything for you. From guest outreach all the way through to publishing and promotion, we handle it all. You show up to hold great interviews and build relationships with your guests, and we take care of everything else. Podcasting is not just about the audience. Every podcast interview is the start of a new relationship. With a weekly podcast, you'd build relationships with 52 ideal partners or prospects through your podcast interviews over the next 12 months. Do you believe that 52 new relationships would help grow your business? We do. Contact Jason at apodcastcompany.com and let's talk.